Going on, guys? Taylor Stuber with LocksDFS.com, bringing you my Week 7 locks for cash games this week on both FanDuel and DraftKings. I had been previously making separate quarterback, running back, and then wide receiver videos, but a lot of you guys said you would rather have them into one condensed video, and I'm more than okay with doing that. Whatever you guys want, I'm willing to provide. But we still are running that giveaway for the free NFL season pass to LocksDFS.com. If you want to enter, all you have to do is subscribe and then comment below with your bold take of the week, and then we will select a winner on Sunday, probably in my NBA video, so make sure to watch that. But so anyways, let's just go through some of the players that I'm going to be locking into my lineups this week. I'm still making a decision right now on DraftKings on what quarterback I'm going with, but it seems like it's going to be Cam Newton. I know the matchup is tough, and Vegas seems to agree with it as their team total has dropped from 20.5 to 19.75, but the Eagles are very beatable through the air. And adding on top of that, they're not very good against rushing quarterbacks, and it's been a while since Cam's been rushing like this, averaging 9 carries a game, so that definitely boosts his floor a ton. It's just at 5.9K, it just seems way too cheap with that built-in floor. His weapons are getting healthier now that Olsen is fully back. They got McCaffrey, they got Funchess, so I think the arrow is pointing up for Cam Newton, and the matchup doesn't really scare me all that much just because I think it'll be a competitive game or they'll be down, so the game script is in his favor. Over on FanDuel, I'm looking more at playing a guy like Jameis Winston against Cleveland or Deshaun Watson again. That's another guy I'm still looking at. I think the Jacksonville defense is definitely really good, and it's nothing to bat an eye at. Still probably the best defense in the league, but I think there's some beatable matchups in this game, and that kind of leads to like some of the one of the players that's my favorite on the slate. That's why I'm so excited for these slates to lock, because I want to see where the ownership is on DeAndre Hopkins at 6.9K. The last 2 meetings, Hopkins has averaged 19 points versus them on like 21 targets against them. Jalen Ramsey's amazing, but I don't know if this is a bold take, but I think DeAndre Hopkins is quite a bit better. Can definitely beat him in matchups. And Deshaun Watson got another full practice in. So I don't think that chest is really a problem anymore. I know they took a backseat last week against the Bills, and I think that was that had a lot to do with Deshaun's chest issues. And Will Fuller is still dealing with that hamstring injury. It's when a speed guy has a hamstring issue, it really hinders them. And if they don't have their speed, they're pretty much just a decoy out there. And that's what Will Fuller's been. His targets have been taking a massive hit lately, and DeAndre Hopkins have been rising. Has the most touchdown equity on the team. He has a 29% target share for the Texans. And you've seen in weeks past, Jaguars defense has the ability to get lit up. You saw them against the Chiefs get lit up by the likes of Patrick Mahomes. Deshaun Watson, a similar player. I think I love DeAndre Hopkins a ton. He's 6.9K. It's kind of funny. He's 8.5 over here. I can justify playing him over here. I'm not going to go there this week just because that's just like a normal price for him. More of a price play on DK. On both sites, I'm locking in Todd Gurley. There's really no reason not to play Todd Gurley really any week. He's matchup proof. If it was the Jaguars, I wouldn't care, because even against the Jaguars, they would still be projected for like 27, 28 points. This week, they are projected for 31 points. It's crazy. And it's such a good matchup against the 49ers. As the weeks go on, people realize more and more of how much they give up through the air to running backs. Since Sean McVay has been the coach for the Rams, Todd Gurley has had no less than 18 carries a week. 18 touches a week, rather, which is insane. 18 touches a week in 2018. That's something it's really hard to find, just because most teams are going towards passing the ball more, and he's really prevalent in the air game as well. Also, he hasn't gotten less than 25 fantasy points at all this week, and it's week 7 already. So I don't know how you fade him, and it's kind of like years past when you were shoving in Le'Veon Bell and you're shoving in David Johnson. You just shove in Todd Gurley, and at 9.8K, it seems like a lot, but honestly, he should be more. Don't know how you get away from that. A couple wide receiver plays I really like is both John Brown and Michael Crabtree facing the league's worst pass defense in the Saints. And the reason why the Saints are so bad is just because it's not that their secondary is necessarily that bad. It's they generate literally no pass rush. And Joe Flacco's a rhythm passer. He's kind of like Kirk Cousins. He obviously worse than Kirk Cousins, but once he gets in a rhythm, he really gets going. And I really like guys like Crabtree and John Brown. Crabtree has a 21% target share, highest on the team. His ADOT's quite a bit lower, but you've seen in weeks past that they're really ramping him up, and he's had like bad games due to drops, but they stopped last week, and he had a big game. I was all over John Brown last week. The targets took a dip last week, but like I said earlier, when the Saints can't get pressure on the quarterback, and you give a guy like John Brown, time to get open, he's going to get open. If we look at his air yards, he's third in the league behind DeAndre Hopkins, who I talked about earlier, and Julio Jones. He's third in the league in air yards at 924, 19.7 yard ADOT. Going to want to get him in GPPs for sure. I would play him in cash games. I trust that. But I would much prefer Crabtree, especially on DraftKings where he's almost 5K, way too cheap. If you're playing GPPs, you have to play John Brown. You have to get some exposure to him. On FanDuel, I really like Jarvis Landry. You've seen, like, seemingly every week when I look at the slate for the first time, I'm like, who's facing the Saints and who's facing the Buccaneers? Because I want those passing options. And Jarvis Landry is only 6.5K over on FanDuel. I think he's 7.3K over on DraftKings, which is like what he should be priced. 6.5K, way too cheap. He has a 29% target share. Baker he's up and down, but I think he is a pretty decent quarterback. He can get Jarvis Landry the ball. He's such a good route runner, averaging over 10, or like I think it's 9 or 10 targets a game. And they should be down. Cleveland has a good defense, but Tampa Bay's offense is pretty good. If we go over here to the Vegas projections, they're rising from 23 to 23.75. So Vegas is liking them. The sharp money's on them. And the game as a whole has rose from 49 to 51. I like Jameis Winston. I like Baker Mayfield, and I especially like Jarvis Landry over on FanDuel. And the tight end that I'm playing, everyone's playing, if you're playing cash games, is David Njoku. The past 3 weeks, his targets keep increasing from 7 to 10 to 12. Super active in the red zone. He's only 5.7K on FanDuel, and I think he's 4.2K on DraftKings. And the Bucks are. I talked about how bad their pass defense is, and it's not just for wide receivers; it's for tight ends as well. I really like David Njoku, and I'm not afraid on FanDuel to play Njoku and Landry. I really trust that offense against. It's not that I trust the offense; it's that I trust how bad the Buccaneers defense is. So those are kind of the plays I'm locking in. I couldn't make it more clear. Don't try to get cute. Just play Todd Gurley. You won't regret it. He's not. I would be very shocked if he scored less than 22, 23 points any week the rest of the year, as long as he's starting. He has so much touchdown equity, so much touch equity. He's the only running back that's in the game. Play Todd Gurley, please. So if you haven't already, please like the video if you liked it. Subscribe. Follow us on Twitter @Locks DFS. Follow me on Twitter @Taylor Stuber. Until next video, peace.